Hey everybody, it's Jenny and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to find the Mug Press template and how to make your own Mug Press designs. So open up Cricut Design Space and then open up a new project. Over here we're going to go click on Projects and then make sure you have all categories selected and search Mug. You'll see a bunch of different Mug Press designs open up. You can scroll through and look at those. One thing is make sure you click on the design and then see what the finished size is. So it'll tell you if it's for the 12-ounce mug or the 15-ounce mug. This is really important because I've done a whole design thinking I was making it for one mug and then I had the wrong size. So just make a note of that. You'll also see this, the mug design setup. This is where you will find a blank design so you can make your own designs, and I love this. You have a drop-down menu here. And you can choose from the small mugs, large mugs, and then you can choose different edges. So there's the small ripped edge, so I'll show you what it looks like. So it does like a ripped edge, which is kind of cute. There's like the scalloped edge. So a lot of different edges you can choose from. So that's really nice. When you click on it, so if I select here, let's do the wavy edge small, and then hit customize to make it, you'll see that it pulls up this Mug Press template, and it has these little drawings at the top. This is to help situate your design on the mugs so you can see, where it's going to be. So this part would be the back part of the mug opposite the handle. Here it would end up on this side with the handle on your right, and here is the left. It just makes it really nice for placing your design so you can make sure you place it evenly. You'll also see that it has this hole cut out back here, and this is actually the infusible ink liner, which is really nice. It makes a tab that you can press onto your mug. So this is definitely the way to go. You can also just obviously cut out your own images without this template and then just place it on the mug, tape it on or whatever. But I like this because it's a whole mug design. It makes it really super easy to use. Okay, so that's one way you can find mug designs. Another way is if you go into images, click on images. Again, there's two ways you can do this. You can click on project type, and Cricut actually has it all set up so you can just only search for large mug designs if that's what you're looking for, or small. So if you have both selected, you'll be looking at both. And then you get to see all the different designs they have already made, which is pretty neat. Again, they have quite a few. And remember, you can always adjust these designs to your liking. So just because you see something, you can change the colors, you can slice them, weld them, do different things. So there's some great bases for your designs. The other way you can do this is if you search mug, up here in images, if you search mug, it'll pull up images of mugs, but it also pulls up the mug designs. Now again, note that if you do it this way, you'll have both designs. So if you click on an image, you want to hit this little eye in the corner, which is the image info. If I hover it over it, I can see that it says large enjoy mug design. I can also click on it and it tells me this is the large one. And if I hover over here, I can see this is the small one. So again, make sure you choose the correct size according to which mug you are making, because you don't want to make the wrong size. And let's see, the one I use, so I'm going to show you how you can make your own designs. It's super easy. So again, you could just use that template that I showed you, the setup design, if you want different edges. I actually saw one in here that I really liked. It was a paint splotch image, and I was going to make this cute crafting mug. So let's see if I can find it. I'm just scrolling down through here. Look at all the different designs. I love these face ones. And also this one's pretty cute with the notebook for like a teacher or something. Let's see. Where is my mug? I knew it was on here somewhere. I didn't realize it was so far down. Hold on. Okay, maybe it's not gonna maybe I passed it already. I'm just gonna go over here and click on these till I can do both. Let's see. Now I'm only looking at Mug Press designs. Okay, look how cute this one is. I love these little like fox. So cute. Okay, here finally is the one that I was looking for. This is, if I click on the info, if I hover over it, small paint splotch mug design. So I know that this is meant for the small mug. Again, I can click on this eye and I can see that it says small paint splotch mug. So I'm going to insert that in there. Oh, looks like I had clicked on another one by accident. So I'm going to delete out. I don't want this design or this one. I'm going to hide this. Okay. So here I have my template for a mug design, And I'm going to show you how you can just add your own images and then slice them out. So I'm going to go up in here to images. I know the one I want is called Crafting Forever. So I'm going to search that. And here is the image that I want. I'm going to insert that. Okay, and then I'm just going to use these arrows on the side to resize it how I want it. So, and I know because I've made mugs before, again, this will be, the handle will be on the right hand side. So here I'm going to do that and just resize it. Don't mind my dog barking in the background. He really wants to come in here and craft with me. So that looks about like how I want it. Now if I look up here, this is actually 2 layers. And to slice, you need to be slicing, you can only slice 2 layers. So if I slice from my mug design, that's 1 layer, and I need this to be 1 layer. So I'm going to select both of them over here, and then I'm going to weld them together. Now I can slice it from the other one. But first I want to also line it up. So I'm going to select both my bottom layer and that layer. And then I'm going to align them by doing center vertically. So that just moves it, it was just a tiny bit, but it makes sure that it's aligned that way. And now I still have both of them selected, and I'm going to slice. And then I will take out, this is what I've sliced. And here I've sliced it from the design. I don't need these anymore, and so I can just right click and hit delete and get rid of them. So now I have that, and this would make a great mug. You can also change the color, so, you know, just kind of see what it looks like. And actually another tip for you. So if you're wondering kind of what your design might look like with the infusible ink, this is a trick that I use. So I go up here, and remember, this is just to be able to see it, so you can't actually cut it like this, but it'll just give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Let's go up here and make this print then cut standard. And then you're going to click on the little color block next to it, and we're going to make it a pattern. Now I've already uploaded my infusible ink patterns, so I have them in here. I can show you in another tutorial how I've done that. But essentially I just take a screenshot of the pattern from the Cricut website, I upload it using the upload tool, and then I have the different infusible ink patterns, and I can kind of get a better idea of what my design will look like on my mug. So I want to use this paint splash one. So I click on that, and then you're going to click on edit pattern. And you want to change the scale because it always ends up being smaller than what it actually is. And again, this is just for a preview, so it's not going to be perfect, but it'll kind of give you a better idea of what it's going to look like. So I do that, and I can hit the X, and I can see that's a little bit probably too big, so I'm going to make it a little smaller of the pattern. Maybe like this. Anyhow, so now I can kind of get a better idea. I like to do that. You cannot, you can't click on make it and do this because you don't want to print this, you want to cut it. So it's just to look at, but I like to do that so I can kind of get a better idea of what my design is going to look like. So I'm just going to go back and make it a basic cut. It's going to go back to that yellow. That's not obviously what I'm cutting, but that's just what they have. Okay, so let's say you want to add a couple more things to this. I wanted to add some scissors and like a paintbrush. So over here in images, I'm going to search scissors. And find a pair that I like. I actually like this one a lot, so I'm going to insert that. And let's see. I actually want to play around with the contour because I don't want it just to cut these little thin lines. I want the whole scissors cut out. I actually kind of want it flipped too. So I'm going to, first I'll flip it. So up here I'm going to hit flip, and then I'm going to flip horizontal. Now it kind of looks like it's cutting out that whenever. I'm going to adjust the size a little bit. And then down here on the bottom right hand corner, I'm going to click on contour, and I'm going to click this center contour, and it's going to fill that in. So now my scissors are kind of more how I like them. Whole thing is going to be cut out, and I like how that looks a lot. So I'm just going to move it down here, kind of resize it. That looks great to me. I love how that's looking. So again, I'm going to select my bottom layer and my scissors now. It's only 1 layer, so I don't need to weld anything. I can just go and click on slice. And now I'm going to remove that out, oops, and delete them because I don't need them. Now I'm going to add a paintbrush. So over here, I'm going to go to images again, and I'm going to type paintbrush, and find a paintbrush that I like. So I'm going to scroll through. I like these ones, but I'd like just a single one. Oh yeah, so I like this one. This is awesome. Okay, I'm going to insert that. And I'm going to use this little round arrow to rotate it a little bit. I want my splotch on the other side, so I'm going to use that flip again and flip horizontal. Oops, that flipped it. I guess I wasn't thinking which way it was actually going to be. Okay, so then I'm going to resize it again. And I just kind of want it maybe a little bit like this. I like this because it has this little splotch. It kind of matches my edge with the paint splotches. Oops, not letting me drag it. There we go. I'm going to resize it just a little bit more. Now if I look over here, I have all these different layers that it's made up of. I just want it to be one, and so I'm going to weld it. Just those ones. And so now I'm just going to position it where I want it. Select both layers, my paintbrush and then my template underneath here. And then I'm going to slice. Now again, I'll take out my slices, delete them. You can either, I just hit delete on my keyboard, but you can also right click and then hit delete. And there you have it. Now you have a custom mug that you made. You could put stuff on the other side if you wanted, or anything you felt like. I like how this looks, and so I'm gonna go make it. And so to make it, you go click up here to make it. I have it set to my maker. I have a couple different machines, so make sure you have the correct one selected. Click on make it. It's gonna sort it out. And so you can see in the preview, this is what it's gonna look like. Now here's the most important thing. I forget this all the time. You need to mirror your image because you're working with infusible ink. It has to be mirrored because it goes on the other way. So make sure you click on mirror and then click continue. Okay, so you're going to select infusible ink transfer sheet. I have it as one of my favorite materials, so it's just right here. But if you do not have it showing up, you're going to click on browse all materials. And then you can either scroll down until you find it. Let's see, and a lot of fabric. Iron-on, leather, paper. Oh, maybe alphabetical order. Haha, sorry, I already passed it. Infusible ink. Oh, where is it? Cardstock, fabric. Okay, maybe that's not the best way to find it. You can just search it at the top. It's funny that I can't find it this way. Iron-on. Goes straight to... That's so weird. Oh, I guess maybe they have it as other. Okay, I can't find infusible ink that way. I will search infusible ink, and then there's infusible ink transfer sheet, and that's what I'm going to click and then hit done. I usually always put more pressure. I found that it seems to cut the infusible ink better. Otherwise, sometimes it won't cut. It cuts all the way through, but the infusible ink doesn't weed as easily. So I like to put more, and then you're going to load everything into your mat, and I'll show you how. Okay, I'm using the purple watercolor splash infusible ink that is ideal for the Cricut Mug Press. This comes with 2 sheets that are already sized for your mug templates. You can also use the other infusible ink, that works too. But one thing that you'll notice is the Cricut Mug Press infusible inks do not have a grid on the back, whereas the bigger infusible inks do have a grid. And I did have a friend tell me that you can ever so slightly see the grid every so often because of the way that the machine presses at such a high temperature. So they did remove the grid marks from the back of these ones. So I do recommend those, but you can use other infusible ink. So remove the protective sheet from your mat. I'm using the green standard grip mat, and then place your infusible ink sheet at the top of the mat. One thing to look at is to look at your infusible ink and see how the pattern is. After I actually put it on the pattern this way, I looked at my design and I wanted more of the spots on the other side, and so I actually took it off and then I switched it so that it was the other way around. You're just going to load your mat and then you'll hit this C to start cutting it out. At this point, I recommend that you start plugging in your Cricut Mug Press so it can heat up. So you'll want to get that plugged in, turn it on, power it on. You'll notice it'll be orange, and then it'll take a little bit for it to heat up and for the light to be green. Meanwhile, the Cricut machine will cut out your design and do all the work and get that done for you. Once your machine has cut out the design, you're going to take it off of the mat. Remember to peel the mat away from the design, not the other way around. I didn't do a very good job showing you here. Okay, once it's off the mat, now it's time to weed it. They don't recommend to use weeding tools, just your hands. The reason for this is because it's really easy to accidentally scrape off some of the infusible ink. And if you scrape off the infusible ink, then you're going to be missing that part of your design. I kind of go back and forth. Every so often I'll use the tools with it. With this design, I felt like I could just get it out with my hands, so I was okay doing that. But that is the recommendation, is not to use the tools, and that's the reason why, just because it's really easy to just accidentally scrape off a piece of your infusible ink. You'll want to be really careful when you're weeding to make sure that you leave the insides of letters, that you don't peel those off. I had my O come off, and so I had to make sure to put the inside back on. But things like that, you'll just want to be really gentle with the infusible ink. Make sure your hands are not sweaty. If they're sweaty, you also could rub off the ink. So that's just kind of a little delicate process there. It's not hard. You just want to be a little bit more careful than you would be with other materials. Lint roll your mug or use a soft cloth to make sure that it's ready for the infusible ink. Okay, make sure that your mug is on a flat surface. You want the handle to be perpendicular to you. Line up your infusible ink transfer sheet, set it flat against the flat surface, center it on the back, and then you're not going to want to press it hard right now. You're just going to kind of lightly go around your mug, make sure it's kind of centered. Once you feel that it's centered, I like to take the left-hand side tab, make sure that's pushed down first, then use my other hand to make sure it's flat against the whole mug, pull it with my right hand, and then push the right tab onto it. Once you've pushed that on, go around your whole mug and make sure that your whole design is firmly on the mug. Now it's time to put it into the Cricut Mug Press. Your light should be green because we preheated it before. You're just going to slide your mug right in there. Be careful because it's hot. Make sure that the handle of the mug is centered on the outside and your whole design is covered, and then just push down the handle. And now the mug press will do the rest of the work. The lights will fill up as it finishes, and then it will beep when it's done. Once it's done, the mug handle is not hot. The rest is very, very hot. Be careful, but you can touch the handle, and then I like to set it on my easy press mat to cool. It needs to cool for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you can remove your design. This is like the best part because you get to see it, and I love doing this. So just carefully remove the infusible ink paper. You'll see that it transferred beautifully onto your mug. It's so shiny and pretty. It looks like I forgot to weed a spot right there. Oops. And if there's anything little pieces left, make sure you take those off too. I hope you enjoyed this mug press video. Make sure to give it a like and follow me for more videos. Thanks.